finally about to graduate. Hey, I'm finally about to graduate. I'm finally about to graduate. And shout at all the homies out here graduating. Hey, we finally finna graduate. We finally about to graduate.
Are we ready? Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the faculty and staff of California State University, Sacramento. Okay, now what you're really waiting to see are your sons, your daughters, mothers, fathers, brothers, and sisters, and grandfathers. Yes, grandfather and grandmothers. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand. Remember to keep the aisles clear. As I present to you, please tap on the door, someone. As I present to you, graduating class of 2017-18, here they go! You may be seated. It's a celebration. At this time, I would like to bring to the podium our Director of Ceremonies for the evening, Mr. Samuel Jackson? Oh, no, I'm sorry, Jones.
Good evening, everybody. Can everybody hear me? No, I can't hear myself either. All righty, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Verizon, can you hear me now? All right, 1 second. All righty, can you hear me
now? We'll do a quick switch out. I will get this mic taken care of in a second. Thank you. As Ann said, my name is Samuel Jones. I'm the Director of Housing Operations and Conference Services at Sac State, and I welcome you to the 32nd Annual African American Celebration of Graduation for the Class of 2018. The theme this year is Answering the Call, African Americans in Times of War. You're probably wondering, where did the theme come from? It is adopted from the Association for the Study of African American Life and History, ASA, established in, as my tablet goes out, in 1915, founded by Carter G. Woodson, founder of Black History Month. And now I would like to bring to the stage for our invocation, Professor Dr. Sylvester Bowie.
You know, when the psalmist wrote, "Make a joyful noise unto the Lord," he must have been thinking of this crowd this evening. But then I'm reminded of the 121st Psalm that says, "I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help." As we prepare to celebrate in the manner that we are this evening, I think it is fitting that we should give God thanks and praise for his goodness to us. Because God has truly been good to us. Many of you never thought that you'd be at this stage this evening. But God. I'm going to ask us to just stand as we pray, invoking God's presence and giving him thanks for what we are celebrating this evening. Oh God, oh Heavenly Father, we are grateful that you saw it fit to spare us so that we could gather together this evening as we have to celebrate graduation time. Oh God, we thank you in a very special way for watching over your people, for providing for them. There were times, oh God, when some were on the verge of hunger. There were times, oh God, when there were sleepless nights. There were times, oh God, when family members were neglected. But you had your purpose worked out. And it has culminated, oh God, in this grand celebration. And so we give you thanks. We thank you, God, for those who planned this evening's activities. We thank you, God, for those who will preside. We especially, oh God, thank you for the graduates. Thank you, oh God, that you have taken them on this journey, taken them to this point. We thank you in a very special way, oh God, for those who supported them along the way. We remember partners and spouses and children and parents and grandparents, oh God, who all chipped in, who babysat, who provided coverage, who provided resources, financial and otherwise. And so, God, as we go forth this evening in the celebration, we pray that everything will be done in order, will be done decently, and that you will be praised. Oh God, just take charge and control this evening's proceedings. We just give you thanks for Christ's sake. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Bowie, for that invocation for us. I would like to bring to the stage now to sing the National Black Anthem, Dr. Aja Holmes.
Thank you. Please stand for the Black National Anthem. It is located in your program. We will be singing the first and third verse. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring, ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let us resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has taught us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. God of all our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who thus by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where they met thee. Lest our hearts, drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand. Bow to our God, true to our native land. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aja Holmes, for leading us in song. Many of you probably don't know, we deal with anything that could happen. When an emergency happens, people step in and they step up to make sure your graduation is the one to remember. Thank you, Reverend Bowie and Dr. Aja Holmes, for stepping up. I would like to take an opportunity now to recognize our platform guests so that you all know who is sitting up here welcoming and appreciating our graduates. I will start from my inside out, I hope, as my laptop keeps going down. And if we could hold our applause until the very end, that would be great. We're going to start on this side, sorry. We're going to start with Dr. Wahatama Masupio. She is the director of the Cooper Woodson Scholarship Enhancement Program and chair of the Department of Ethnic Studies. Dr. Diane Hyson, Associate Dean of the College of Social Science and Interdisciplinary Studies. Next, we have Dr. Marceline Watson-Durbany, Associate Vice President for Student Retention and Student Academic Success and Equity Education Programs. Dr. Ted Lasher, Interim Dean for the College of Social Science and Interdisciplinary Studies. Dr. Lorenzo M. Smith, Dean of the College of Engineering and Computer Science. Dr. Robin Carter, Associate Dean of Budget Operations for the College of Health and Human Services and the Cooper Woodson College Advisory Board Chair. Next, we have our singer up for the night, Dr. Aja Holmes, Senior Associate Director for Housing and Residential Life. Dr. Jim Dragna, Executive Director, University Initiatives and Student Success, Office of the President. Mr. Don Hunt, Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management for Student Affairs. Dr. Amy Kautzman, Dean of the University Library. Dr. Sherry Meyer, Dean of the College of Arts and Science. And on the final panel here, we have our Professor, okay, I don't have my notes here, but Professor Dr. Sylvester Bowie. Great shout out, thank you. Next we have, me, Mr. Samuel Jones. I'm the Director of Housing Operations and Operations for Housing and Residential Life. I'm sitting there, but I'm standing now. Dr. Neil Braxton Gibson, Civil Rights Activist and author. She will be our keynote speaker for the evening. Dr. Ching-Hwa Wong, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Cecil Canton, Professor. Another person that steps in. Dr. Mike Lee, our Vice President for Administrative Services and Business Affairs. Dr. Don Taylor, Interim Assistant Vice President, Academic Programs and Educational Effectiveness. Starting over here, we have Mr. Josiah Greer. He is an admissions counselor. Dr. Julian Heather, Chair, Faculty Senate, College of Arts and Letters. Dr. Mara Indigra, College of Social Science and Interdisciplinary Studies. Mr. Phil Garcia, Vice President for Public Affairs and Advocacy. Dr. Tina Jordan Brown. Okay. Director of Park, and she's also the Assistant Vice President for Strategic Initiatives and Strategic Success Initiatives. And finally, Dr. Melinda Wilson Ramy, Associate Dean of College of Arts and Letters. Please give our panel a round of applause. I would like to recognize people in the audience if they're here. Emeritus Dean Otis Scott. Is he, okay. Emeritus Professor David Coven and other special guests if they're here. Okay. During the evening, during this event tonight, I will be sharing with you 3 important facts that occurred while you graduates are here. From 2017 to 2018, 3 significant events have happened here on your campus or from alumni that you hopefully will draw some wisdom from. This is our 32nd annual African American ceremony. This year, this is your first fun fact, we had over 1,500 guests that wanted to attend your graduation. Of course, that meant the planning committee had to figure out where to house all the guests so that they were able to see you. So we had to get not 1, not 2, but 3 rooms in the union in order for this to happen. So basically, we took over the union. I would like to now welcome to the stage the CWC Director and Professor and Chair of the Department of Ethnic Studies, Dr. Masupio.
Good evening. Okay, that was good. I don't have to ask you to do it again. On behalf of Cooper Woodson College Enhancement Program, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome faculty, staff, students, families, and the graduate, most of all the graduates, whom we honor this evening. This is the 32nd annual African American graduation celebration, the 32nd. I don't know, some of you were not born yet when we started. But I want to tell the graduates that you are very, very special. It took a lot of work from Black staff and faculty to organize this. I have to give a special shout out to Ms. Thomas. I had to come and drag her out of the office on Mother's Day. She was working even yesterday to make sure that this is special. However, other people too worked very hard to make this day special for you. I also have to say that Cooper Woodson College Enhancement Program, the scholars of that program also worked very hard to make this special, and then I want to thank them as well. I want to thank all the volunteers, so I want you to know that a lot of people think that you are special. We have volunteers from Sacramento High School. Yeah. So the theme of this graduation celebration is Answer the Call, and it talks about the wars that African Americans have had to face, right, and fight against, so the challenges. I want to say a few words of wisdom to you as you go on to the world. I am sure, as the Hornet family, the graduates, you did not experience somebody calling the police on you because you were napping. You did not have somebody calling the police on you because you were in Starbucks and told that you are trespassing. Nobody called the police on you because you were in the park. None of these people here is going to remove you from the stage when you dance. You can dance, the fruit can fall. The fruit can fall, I will pick them up, Dr. Carter will help me like she did last year. But Seriously, this happens somewhere else in the United States in the 21st century. It happens. As you are going out to the world, my words of wisdom to you is be inclusive, be a model, be brave enough, be courageous to engender change. And as you are being inclusive, don't be that which you despise. I know you despise exclusion, so don't be that which you despise. Congratulations and enjoy the day.
Be inclusive, encourage, and be a model as you're on stage making your dance performance. Thank you, Dr. Masupie. We are fortunate to have our Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs joining us for her welcome address to the graduates. Dr. Ching Wang Wang.
Thank you, thank you. Good evening. Good evening. This is a very exciting event. It's a big deal. It's really a super big deal. And if you just look around this whole ballroom, it's almost all filled. So next year, I think we probably have to find a larger venue for the event. So it's very exciting for the whole university. And I just want to tell you that the President Nelson, very much would like to participate in this event. However, he had to go to Long Beach to participate in the Board of Trustees meeting there. So he sends his regrets. On the other hand, almost all of the vice president, associate vice president, deans, and associate deans, and many of the faculty members, I think they are here. We are here in support of you. And so I would like to use the opportunity to have you to recognize the party down there that have not been recognized. The people, the faculty, as well as the administrators in student affairs and academic affairs, would you please stand, be recognized. Thank you, thank you. And graduates, you are almost, in a few days, you will be graduating, right? So, you, finally, I agree with you, but you didn't get here alone. You didn't get here by yourself. You had lots of help. So I'd like to take the opportunity for us, all of us, to recognize your parents, your grandparents, your loved ones. Would you please stand? The parents and grandparents. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you. So I think, I hope that you will enjoy the whole evening. We have a whole evening of program prepared for you. And so let's just, congratulations to the graduates, and let's move on.
Thank you. A couple of things from there. Remember, you didn't get here by yourself, and to recognize those people that helped you get here. Courage, be brave. Be inclusive while you dance on stage to accept your award without your family coming up here and joining you. And now I would like to welcome from the Cooper Woodson College Enhancement Program Scholar and a member of your graduating class of 2018, Mr. Akil Terry.
Thank you, brother. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to the Black graduation. It is a magnificent night to see our beautiful Black Sac State scholars graduate. Yeah. I am proud to be able to call myself a Sac State graduate, and I would like to thank all who have supported me and the majority of Black scholars on the front lines and behind the scenes. I can already see Miss T and Dr. M sweating bullets because they know I'm long-winded. But and I know the majority of you all want to see your babies cross the stage, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet. First, I would like to give credit to some of the organizations on campus that have been dedicated to see Black students succeed, such as the Black Alumni Chapter ran by Ms. Jackie. Yes, who sets up networking events and grants scholarships to students. The McNair Scholars Program, who actually helps students actually graduate and go to actual graduate school. And we have a few McNair scholars actually right here. Then I would like to thank the actual Black alumni, the BSU that actually brings together and collaborates with other Black scholars on and off campus. And my favorite is CWC, who was better known as the Cooper Woodson College Enhancement Program, who I'm a proud member of, who hosts Black graduation while also providing its scholars with counseling, mentors, networking events, and a $350 bus scholarship each semester. And I don't know about y'all, I like to keep my money in my bank account, not the bookstores. I would like to thank outside organizations such as the Roberts Family Development Center and Focus on Family Phoenix Park, ran by Ms. Jackie Rose, who both have reached out to our campus to utilize Black and brown scholars by offering jobs to be tutors, mentors, and summer school teachers, AKA servant leader interns, so that we can help our at-risk youth better themselves with their reading and writing skills. Excuse me, got a little lost. And to the graduates, I know y'all like, oh, sookie now, I'm finna graduate. And some of you all have plans and jobs ready and already set up for you, and others are just waiting for that miracle job to actually fall in your lap. And it eventually will, because anything you want good, you can have, so claim it, and work hard to get it. And when you get it, reach back and pull somebody else. Each one, teach one, like Brother Denzel said. Just as myself and Brother Gardner right here, we actually graduated from the LEX program. And as I said 2 Fridays ago, in front of the top brass of both CHP and SACPD, which include the Commissioner Warren Stanley and Chief Daniel Hines, I aspire to be the Chief of Police one day so that I can work in partnership with the community to protect property, solve neighborhood problems, and improve the quality of life in the city of Sacramento. Because I want to bridge the gap between the community and law enforcement. And I see my dream becoming reality with God's help, the community, and the knowledge that I gained from this institution. So to my graduates, don't just aspire to make a living, aspire to make a difference. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum and Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you, Akil. Remember, reach back and pull somebody forward. Think about that when you get out here and you're owning your own company and somebody out there needs that job. Reach back, pull them forward, but don't bring them on the stage as you celebrate your dance. Okay, I'll let that one go after a while. We will now have a performance by Teacher's Pet.
So we're going to do this song for you. Before we get started, though, I'd like to remind everyone that's seen us play before that we only get together one time a year, one practice for one day, and that's this event every year called Teacher's Pet. So you can tell it's one day practice. But I wanted to point out the one thing that I use every year is I look for students to do these programs. And the first student that we had King Uriah Glass. He did a rap for us on Thank You. I'm going to have Kendra Green. She's going to sing in a minute for us. Beautiful voice. And I got a young man in the back, DeAndre. Why don't you stand up for me? He's been helping me out. He wants to learn how to do sound and all this stuff. Got the wrong teacher, but hey, good. But I'm glad to have him helping out and all this stuff. Like I said before, we try to get students every year. If we don't have students, we're going to get faculty and staff. We're going to keep this a Sac State community and a Sac State family. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce Kendra Green.
I wanna leave the sands of time. No, there was something that I left behind. When I leave this world, I leave no regrets. Leave something to remember so they won't forget I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I wanna say I live each day until I die, and know that I'm in something in somebody's life. The hearts I have touched will be the proof that I need, that I made a difference, and this world will see I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I lived, I loved, I was here. I did, I've done everything that I wanted. It was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I just want them to know that I gave my all, did my best, brought someone some happiness, but this world a little better just because I was here. I was here. I did, I've done, I was here. I lived, I loved everything that I wanted. It was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here. I did, I've done everything. I lived, I loved everything that I wanted, and it was more than I thought it would be. I will leave my mark so everyone will know I was here.
Let's give another round of applause to Teacher's Pet. Performing once a year and practicing one time of year, all for you. All for you. You are here, as the song said, you were here at Sac State for your 17-18 senior and graduate year. You have a lot to be thankful for. As I was watching and looking at the hats around here, you've thanked a lot of people. So I hope everybody is looking at the jumbo screens and looking at your hats, because they are beautiful. Alrighty, I would like to invite to the stage our student speaker, Mr. Khalil Ferguson.
keep it PG-13. I have it on my phone, yes. Give me 1 second, everyone. Sorry for the technical difficulties. Before I would begin, I would like to thank the people who have supported me throughout this journey. My family, most specifically my mother, my father, my auntie, my grandmother, my grandfather, my friends who stayed up with me and persevered through the long nights in the art. We had those last week, actually. And to the graduating class of 2018, our journey is almost complete. While we celebrate a milestone for the accomplishment of the receiving of a collegiate degree for black students, I believe it is imperative that we acknowledge those who made sacrifices for us to be here, propelling us to the position we are in today. Through centuries of suffrage and oppression, black people have made it known that we will not be complacent with suffrage and oppression. From the captured Africans who jumped ship to escape bondage, to the first slaves who arrived here on the first slave ship in 1619. We as a people have made it known that we will not be complacent with disparagement and oppression. Our ancestors fought valiantly for their children to have a better place in society than they did. Now we are here, reaping the benefits of their sacrifices as we obtain a higher education. But we have yet to attain the equity and the equality that they so valiantly fought for. So it's up to us to demand a society that is inclusive of our needs. Prominent figures such as Nat Turner and Harriet Tubman exemplified this pillar. Fueled with disdain with the conditions of their people, they took it upon themselves to make a change. Nat Turner's slave revolt of 1831 in Southampton County, Virginia, was a catalyst of action taken to change the power dynamic between oppressor and oppressed. The slave revolt led by Nat Turner played an important role in the antebellum of slave society. Because of the result, the United States further passed legislation that further aggrieved slaves. As a result, the United States now, oh my goodness, I know what it was. Because of the result, the United States passed further legislation that further aggrieved slaves, prohibiting their movement, assembly, and education. Moreover, Harriet Tubman risked her life multiple times by returning to the South to bring slaves to the North. Carrying with her a small pistol, she used it as protection against the slave catchers. However, she also used it to disparage any kind of, excuse me, I don't even like this. Carrying with her a small pistol, using it as protection from slave catchers, she also used it for possible runaways from risking the safety of the group. Upon the abolition of slavery, black people faced political and economic suppression and terrorization of their livelihoods. While Jim Crow laws in the South terrorized the lives of black people, places where we were economically prosperous were bombed and burned to the ground. Yes, I am talking about Tulsa, Oklahoma, Black Wall Street, 1921. Furthermore, according to the NAACP website, between the year 1882 and 1968, 4,747 lynchings occurred in the United States, with 3,446 of those being black. Nevertheless, we remain vigilant. In 1909, the NAACP was established. Between the years of 1906 and 1922, 8 historically black fraternities and sororities were founded, 5 of which were on a historically black university. The Harlem Hellfighters, a unit of black soldiers that gained much valor for their triumphs in World War I, were organized and federalized in 1917. Meanwhile, Jesse Owens won 4 gold medals in the Olympic Games in Berlin in 1936. Hence, a display of black excellence during withering times. Being thwarted into the civil rights movement, our parents and grandparents answered the call for war, a war for equality. Political organizations who focused on changing the socioeconomic and the economic conditions of black people were augmented during this time. Influential activists such as Maya Angelou, Bobby Seale, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King Jr., Huey Newton, Angela Davis, Carter G. Woodson, Mary McLeod Bethune, Anna J. Cooper, and many others all answered the call for war for equity and equality. Yet, the war is not over. It has merely changed its form within capitalist and democratic institutions. Slavery has been perpetuated by the 13th Amendment and the prison industrial complex. Our political power is still being compromised by voter ID laws and gerrymandering. The wealth gap is becoming increasingly wider. The black community has remained economically stagnant for decades, and gentrification is occurring in every black neighborhood in the country. It is because of the previous generation's sacrifices that we do not have to overcome the same racial disparities. Our obligation is to dismantle systematic and institutional discrimination for the next generation and to continue on until we no longer have to fight. We must not ignore the struggles of our people because we do not face them. It is our turn, like those who have come before us, to fight valiantly in an effort to heighten our status and continue our battle for equity and equality. In a capitalist society, we are perpetually exploited and will continue to be exploited because we do not support our own communities. If we want to make progress in the fight for equity and equality, then we must change what we can control, and that includes where we spend our dollar. Collective spending power of the black community in the United States exceeds $1 trillion annually. However, that money does not circulate within our black communities. Thus, we must support businesses that support us. We must invest in our own families. This means fostering the development of their interests. We must work to deconstruct the school-to-prison pipeline. That way we can protect our future. Our youth, they are our future, And lastly, we must unite, no matter how you identify. History has proven that we have strength in numbers. We must do for ourselves. To the graduating class of 2018, we have extended our education, and with that, our duty to our community is heightened. In the famous words of Ashada Shakur, please repeat after me. It is our duty to fight for our freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love and support one another. We have nothing to lose but our chains. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ferguson. So there was a lot of shouting going out there, lots of signs, lots of call signs, as Mr. Ferguson said in his speech for the 8 historically black fraternities and sororities. Do your call out now. Alrighty, this is your night and everyone's night. One of the things he also said in his speech was he mentioned Dr. Martin Luther King. One and another fun facts that happened while in the fall of 2017 is Sac State celebrated the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King being here at Sac State. To introduce our keynote speaker, I will bring back to the stage Dr. Vesupio.
I would like to thank our student speakers. Very inspiring. Thank you. Akil, thank you. Before I introduce our speaker, I do want to say that Cooper Woodson College Enhancement Program is housed in the College of Social Sciences and Interdisciplinary Studies, and it is supported by the leadership there. So I want to thank you, Diane, Dr. Enriga, Dr. Lacha. Thank you, leadership. Mm. It is my pleasure to introduce Nell Braxton Gibson. I met her a few years ago at the Black Book Fair. You have heard the name of David Coven said several times. He's one of the founders of Cooper Woodson. And Nell Braxton Gibson was there presenting her book. She was born in the southern United States, and she is the elder of two sisters. Her sister Rosemary is here in the audience. Her experience, I would like to read, but you can read, I'll just talk to you. Her experience connects with what our last student speaker has said. Nell knows people like Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune, people like the civil rights leader Medgar Evers, and I assume we all know about Emmett Till, the youth who was killed because he was accused of having made a pass at a Euro-American woman. Emmett Till lived 60 miles away from where Miss Gibson was born. And 4 months after that, her boyfriend was also killed. Miss Gibson is also very international. She has participated in the anti-apartheid movement against the apartheid in South Africa. She has a personal commitment to justice, and she also worked with Desmond Bishop Tutu. She published articles supportive of the exiled South African community. Her teenage children also were involved in the struggles as members of the Youth Against Apartheid and Racism in South Africa. In 1995 to 2000, she served as the Associate General Secretary for Inclusiveness and Justice at the National Council of Churches, supporting the search for the murderers of Venom Dama, a civil rights worker who was killed by a firebomb in Mississippi in 1966. She worked to rebuild black churches torched in the 1980s and 1990s. She's the first woman to serve on the board of trustees at Berkeley Divinity School at Yale University. And in 1985, she received an honorary Doctor of Divinity degree from the same. She also is listed in Who's Who Among Black Americans. In 2015, she released the book that I read, that I was talking about, a memoir entitled Too Proud to Bend, Journey to a Civil Rights Foot Soldier. Please join me in welcoming our speaker, Ms. Nell Braxton Gibson.
I want to, can you hear me? I want to take this opportunity to thank Dr. Masupie for that lovely introduction. And I want to thank her for her invitation for me to speak this evening with all of you. I want to recognize Dr. Yang, and I especially want to recognize the graduates, your parents, your grandparents, your friends and family for being here tonight to support you. And I want to take a minute to thank Khalil Ferguson for your words. Let me tell you, I could not, if I had planned it, ask for a better prologue to the words I'm going to say to you tonight. It's just amazing. So thank you so much. I'm going to begin by confessing that I'm not sure what the planners of today's commencement had in mind when they chose the theme, Answering the Call, African Americans in Times of War. But what came to my mind when I was given the topic is all the wars African Americans have been called to enter in our own country. From the time of slavery to the murders of black people today, African Americans have worked hard and sometimes had to fight hard just to survive the wars here in this country. From the Underground Railroad to escape a cruel and deadly slavery, to Reconstruction, to the need to establish our own educational institutions like Tuskegee Institute, started by Booker T. Washington, and Bethune-Cookman College, started by Mary McLeod Bethune, to nonviolent resistance movements through boycotts, pickets, pray-ins, sit-ins, read-ins in public libraries, to self-defense by the Deacons for Defense and the Black Panther Party, to Black Lives Matter, and We the Protesters, which started after Michael Brown was killed. And there have been one man and one woman stands by people like America's first black heavyweight boxer, Jack Johnson, who refused to obey racial restrictions this country placed on him, and Rosa Parks, who refused to give up her seat to a white man on a Montgomery bus. Heavyweight champion Muhammad Ali, who lost his boxing title when he refused to fight in Vietnam. And let's not forget Colin Kaepernick, who lost his position as a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers when he took a knee to protest the killing of young black males in this country. Yes, there's a war against African Americans in this country today. A year ago, a New York Daily News reporter told me, quote, "They say those who fought in World War II were the greatest generation, but I believe the civil rights activists were the greatest generation because they had to go up against their own government in order to get what was rightfully theirs, and they had to do it on their own country's soil." Considering what that reporter said, it has been disheartening these last few years to witness a return to the violence, discrimination, and oppression that I lived through as a teenager and college student in Mississippi. And to see a man occupying the highest office in the land support the kind of violence and discrimination that is taking place across this country. To witness his statement after the counter demonstration and the death of a young woman in Charlottesville, Virginia. Do you remember what he called the skinheads and Nazi sympathizers who were responsible for that violence? He called them, quote, "very fine people," end of quote. His language used to incite the alt-right lets them know they can do almost anything and get away with it. And they often do. It is the same language that led a Philadelphia Starbucks server and several policemen to disrespect the rights of two African Americans who were sitting in the establishment waiting for a business acquaintance. It's the same language that led a white student to call campus police on a black female student at Yale who fell asleep while she was studying. It turns a blind eye to the murders of young black people like Sandra Bland and Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown and Freddie Gray and Stephon Clark right here in Sacramento. Yes, there's a war going on, a war against black people in this country right now. We see it in the vast prison industrial complex system, in the continued lynching of young blacks, in redlining and voter suppression of black people. And we see it in the courage of people like Colin Kaepernick. Black Lives Matter. We, the protesters, and others who have stepped up to answer the call for equality in the face of brutality and injustice. In years past, it was mostly college students who answered the call. Sometimes it was elementary and high school students, like those in the Children's Crusade in 1968. But for the most part, it was college students. I believe this is because in college, you set the course for the rest of your life. Colleges are not insulated from what is happening in the rest of the world. If anything, they are the observers and the critics to what is happening in the world. My own involvement in the civil rights movement of the 1960s was partially based on watching African countries gain their freedom. Their struggles for freedom and their endeavors to establish independence, as well as the sit-in demonstrations taking place in this country, led me to believe that I could participate in a student movement that would make a difference. And that involvement in civil rights activities during my college days led to my life commitment of working on behalf of poor and oppressed people in this country, in South Africa, Namibia, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Panama, Cuba, and Palestinian Christians in the Gaza Strip. It makes my heart glad in this day and age to see a rebirth of the movements of the 1960s in Black Lives Matter and March for Our Lives. For they are reminiscent of the movements that took place in the name of racial and social justice. Last month, I viewed a documentary called Agents of Change. It is a film about the role black students played in changing the culture about race on college campuses in 1968. The film begins with a challenge from students from San Francisco State calling for a Black Studies program, which they expanded to include Latinos, Asians, and other ethnic groups and women. The film ends with students at Cornell University calling for the same kinds of reform, leading to a new Black Studies program. The calls of these schools for racial and ethnic and gender inclusion on college campuses became a clarion call across the country, and thousands of colleges made the same demand. The day after I saw the film, I read a New York Times op-ed piece by Mark Rudd, who had been a student at Columbia University in 1968 and a member of Students for a Democratic Society, also known as SDS. Rudd wrote about how black students have been erased from the 1968 demonstrations at Columbia. But he said it was the black students who actually had a plan and a purpose for their demonstration, much more so than the white students. To quote him, "What made Columbia's protests so powerful was the leadership of black students. For years, SDS protested the Vietnam War and the university's refusal to allow Black and Latino cafeteria workers to organize a union. In 1968, SDS joined with the Student Afro-American Society. He goes on to say, quote, "The white kids were ragtag, messy, and arguing constantly with one another. But the Black students, inspired by the civil rights movement in the South and by their own parents' lifelong struggles, had to make a disciplined statement. They saw themselves as representatives of the Harlem community." And I might interject, that is very much like what the students at San Francisco State saw themselves. They saw themselves as part of the community when they raised their protests. At both those institutions and at Cornell University, the community supplied hot food as well as physical and moral support to the students during their protests. Rudd goes on to say that, quote, "Black students' occupation more than anything we white students did was the pivotal act of the Columbia protests. Because of their stand, thousands of students and local residents rallied to the cause. Thousands of others stood vigil outside. We cannot abandon the Black students," was the universal cry. The central role played by the Student Afro-American Society has never been acknowledged in accounts of Columbia 68, Rudd said. Quote, "The story has been about the white kids of the left, the SDS, and myself as a singular protest leader. Raymond Brown, a leader of the Student Afro-American Society, called the media's erasure of Black students' roles, quote, strategic blindness. Like the Black students at Columbia in 1968, today's Black students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Florida have been erased from the March for Our Lives demonstrations. And the Black Lives Matter movement has been shoved to the background as the media chooses to highlight white students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High. But Doug Hogue and Emma Gonzalez, two of the leaders from Parkland, Florida, have spoken out against the decision of the media to exclude their Black schoolmates. I said earlier, college is where you set the course for the rest of your life. And so I want to make it clear that I'm not here to suggest that Black students at CSUS begin to organize protests. I trust things have changed a great deal since my and my sister's days here at CSUS, where we had to write in a campus newsletter that we started and talk about what was happening to Black students on this campus at that time. If this commencement exercise today is a witness to that change, then it says the college is listening to and respecting Black students in a way I could never have imagined when I was a student here. What I am suggesting is that you leave this institution of higher learning dedicated to deciding to name what your call as an African American is in this time of war in this country. That you ponder that call and decide what action you will take. We are in desperate need of young leaders like you. In closing, In closing, I'd like to share the words of a poem by Langston Hughes. It is one of my favorite poems, and it is called Mother to Son. Well, son, I tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stair. It's had tacks in it, and splinters, and boards torn up, and places with no carpet on the floor, bare. But all the time, I've been a climbing on, and a reaching landings, and turning corners, and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. So boy, don't you turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps because you find it kind of hard. Don't you fall now, because I still going, honey. I still climbing. And life for me ain't been no crystal stair. Our lives in this country have never been a crystal stair. But that didn't stop Harriet Tubman nor Nat Turner. It didn't stop Rosa Parks or Martin Luther King Jr. or Malcolm X. It didn't stop Fannie Lou Hamer and Diane Nash or Congressman John Lewis. And it hasn't stopped the Black Lives Matter movement. And don't you let it stop you either. Graduates of the class of 2018, keep climbing, keep reaching, keep answering the call in this time of war. It is our humanity that is at stake, and our humanity is worth fighting for. Life is not a crystal stair, but that never stopped our people from working to correct the wrongs of this society. It has never stopped us from answering the call to make a way out of no way. Bless you as you answer your call and begin your climb this day.
Let's give another round of applause to Dr. Neil Braxton Gibson, answering that call and keep on climbing. We will have another performance by Teacher's Pet.
But you gotta bring it down for me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, you're right. That is.
we're going to do one song for you. This is an original. I want to bring another student up to perform with us. Now, this student is also graduating. Dwayne, why don't you stand up? Where's he at? Conscious. So we got Conscious graduating. He's a writer, composer, and he's also a scholar, very smart young man. What you got, what, 4.0 or something like that? 3.9 grade point average. So Conscious is going to do an original number. He taught us the song, so hopefully we'll do it justice for him.
Before y'all start playing the music, how's everyone doing tonight? Y'all good? To all my graduates, y'all ready to walk that stage? Y'all ready? Make some noise. Yeah. So this song right here is called I'm Finally About to Graduate, because that's what we all about to do, right? So once you catch the hook, you can sing along, you can dance, you can stand up, do what you got to do. We're going to have some fun. That's cool? All right, y'all. Hey, yeah, this how the hook go. Look, hey, yeah, you see I'm finally about to graduate. I'm finally about to graduate. I'm finally about to graduate. And shout out all the homies out here graduating. Hey, hey, I'm finally about to graduate. I'm finally about to graduate. I'm finally about to graduate. Check it. Look, hey. You see, I'm finally about to graduate. And even though I started late, look, some of my homies did it 4 straight. And I'm on they line like congratulations. Ain't no hating cause we ain't racing. We all on the path, we going different places. We all on our way to greatness. Just being alive, man, we really made it. Hey, I'm feeling dapper in my latest chapter. An actor, rapper, inspirational factor. Showing youngsters they can actually be something without thugging from the Bay Area where we function. Hey, but we start a new era. Chasing scholarships, living life with awareness. Staying conscious, no more acting like we careless. Cause education is cool, we gotta finish it from the top. Hey, hey, I'm finally about to graduate. Hey, I'm finally about to graduate. I'm finally about to graduate. And shout out all the homies out here graduating. Hey, hey, we finally finna graduate. We finally about to graduate. We finally about to graduate. But wait, see, the first verse just like the first. I finished JC, then got back to work. I just got 5 A's for the 3rd time. My 3rd semester, guess I'm on a university grind. I shine by using my mind in due time. I find more ways to improve the design. But in the meantime, I inspire mind elevation. I'ma take you higher. Wave your hands like the roof on fire. Tell the devil that it's bad cause he really a liar. This for them people that be working hard. High schools all the way to college dorms. Can't forget them youngsters in middle and elementary. Go to work, live consciously, and work hard so that y'all can celebrate with me. Everybody clap and applause. Can y'all clap with me? Hey, clap, clap. Come on, y'all. Everybody should be clapping, y'all. This a moment right here. Come on. Hey, 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 and say, I'm finally about to graduate. Hey, I'm finally about to graduate. We finally about to graduate. And shout at all the homies one more time. Look, hey, hey, I'm finally about to graduate. Hey, I'm finally about to graduate. Thank all of y'all. From the top, let that beat break down, go. Remember, y'all, we had to answer the call. We all had to step up and change the world. Thank you to all the families, all the faculty. We appreciate you all. My name is Conscious, and that's it, y'all. Thank you. Hey! Hey, 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 hey. Keep being great, y'all. Keep being great.
Yeah, give it up for Conscious. Conscious said, hey, y'all don't want to graduate, because if you want to graduate, this would be a party, man. Hey, 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 hey. That's what we talk about right there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Conscious. Finally about to graduate.
All right, let's give another round of applause to Teacher's Pet and the graduate that was singing, rapping. All right, we're going to bring back to the stage to honor our graduating CWC scholars, Dr. Masupia.
Thank you. Now it's time to recognize the graduating class of 2017-2018. I'm going to start by recognizing the CWC scholars. When I call your name, please come to the stage. Diana Anderson. Marquise Gardner. Sabrina. Kendra. Ebony Johnson. Jessie Norman. Jessie's not here. She's not here. Kahalik Roberts. She's not here. She's not. No. Ash. Oh. Are you Ashley Roberts? I was going to call you just stand there. This is Ashley Robertson. Akili Ted. Martin Wilson. At this stage, I would like to ask all students graduating with a grade point average of 3.3 or better to stand and be recognized. Okay, congratulations. Is Akiela Moses here? Okay. She's a double major in communication studies and deaf studies, and she's graduating with magna cum laude.
Alrighty, before Dr. Masupio takes her seat, I would like for her to take her place on stage. She will be to my right, and then I will have Dr. Cecil Canton to stand here on my left, We are about to get to the moment that everybody is waiting for currently. Next, I would like to invite to the stage Dr. Aja Holmes and Mr. Josiah Gear. Alrighty, before we get started with everything, the last fact that I would like to leave everybody with, and hopefully people will remember this important fact. How many of you saw Black Panther? How many of you knew that Ryan Coogler was a graduate of Sac State? This means you as a graduate in this audience can do anything that you want to do in your life. Don't let anyone hold you back or tell you you can't do something. And now, for the moment you've been waiting for all night long, let's honor our graduates. Graduates, are you ready? I said, graduates, are you ready? But wait, before we want to give you the time and space to walk across this stage. We want to give you the time to dance and celebrate, but I also need you to follow the instructions of your ushers. All righty. Ushers, are you ready? Ushers, are you ready? Let's go.
Leticia Griffin, Lacletus Griffin, major in vocab rehab counseling, concentration in counseling.
Roderick Hickman, major in theater arts.
Jordan.
Mic check. Roderick, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me now? All right. Roderick Hickman, major in theater arts.
Jordan Williams, communication. Go ahead.
Daryl Malik Flags, major in communications.
Octavia Burnett, teaching and physical education.
LaSharay Williams, major in gerontology.
Ariane Rusanganwa, political science major.
Jason Williams, communication studies.
Brenda Pugh, government major.
Zamari Hinton, criminal justice.
Tamari Jordan, sociology major.
Elias Reeland, business.
Simon Samir, sociology major.
Kasaria Johnson, sociology.
Yosan Zawaldi, behavioral health major.
Nadia Wright, child development.
Isabella Nelson, child development major.
Denise Robinson, social work.
Anthony Jerome Ziba, biological science major, general biology, used to be an RA, woo woo.
Ben Finister IV, kinesiology.
Malik Byers, kinesiology exercise science major.
Brittany LeBlue, master's in educational technology.
Sophia Emerson, communication studies, political relations.
Haifa Yates, liberal studies.
Jordan Birdsong, psychology major.
Beth Abigail Alonzo, sociology.
Criminal Tiffany Moore, criminal justice, minor in psychology.
Satori Rose, communications.
Dominique Megan Dolce, social work major.
Kendra Rhodes, sociology.
Sandra Evans, ethnic studies, Chicano studies major.
Ashia Johnson, sociology.
Ursula Stallworth, peace pathology major.
Armani Chilton, sociology.
Michelle Wright, family and consumer therapy counseling major.
Alana Burnham, kinesiology. J.R. Williams, sociology.
Jamisa Booth, business administration marketing major.
Sadie Akins, communication science and disorders.
Majane Brown, child development individualization.
Selena Cisneros, kinesiology.
Khalil Ferguson, government and economics major.
Javen Williams, kinesiology.
Amanda West, political science.
Justice Dawson, kinesiology.
Adrian Harris, social work major.
Smitty Dukes, communications and theater minor.
Jocelyn Murkison, biology science major.
Angelina Hayes, ethnic studies with a concentration in Pan-African.
Jada Pedway, criminal justice major.
Rhonda Staley Brooks, Masters of Business Administration.
D. Eric Corey Wayne Decker, sociology major.
Matthew Brooks Pritchard, Recreation, Parks and Tourism and Administration with a minor in Human Resources.
Candace Tyrell, sociology major.
Markayla McCullough, Child Development.
John Ayordele, sociology major. Oh wait, Rosanna.
Princess Anebli, Child Development with a concentration in social and community setting.
Jasmine Taylor, anthropology major.
Daisha McQueen, Business Administration.
Marcy B. Pasuela, Bachelor of Social Work.
Danielle Berge, Child Development.
Tabika Smith, Social Work, Foster Care System.
Ariana Clark, Child Development.
Carisia Winton, Criminal Justice, Pre-Law.
Keandre Cruz Soso, Mechanical Engineering.
Rebecca Hopkins, kinesiology, physical activity major.
Chelsea Harden, gerontology.
Marie Elizabeth Denise Williams, theater and minor in marketing.
Lawrence Cruz Soso, psychology with a concentration in clinical.
Michaela Goodwin, social work major.
Lamira Whitaker, criminal justice.
Brittany Taylor, social work major.
Ariana Marie Badong Studdlefield, communication studies with a concentration in film studies.
Maya Alberti, sociology, criminal justice minor.
Alexis Price, communications.
Shatisha Sean Morris, sociology, social work.
John Ray Towner Jr., deaf studies.
Janae Azelkwe, biological sciences, biomedical sciences, and minor in chemistry.
Levante Overcome Adversity Heal, sociology, social work.
Tajanique Roberts, criminal justice major.
Gabrielle Miller, criminal justice.
Sydney Logan, social work, medical services.
Tiffany Whalen, sociology.
Alexandria, communications and women's studies major.
Michaela Hall, major of psychology, would like to thank Antonio Batiste.
Akila Moses, communication studies and deaf studies major.
Kenwi Blanche Marie Eziokoe, social work.
Asia Brown, family and consumer sciences.
Jared Powell, finance with a concentration in real estate.
Mina Escoban, American Sign Language and Deaf Studies major.
Tyler Lynn Tutt, family and consumer sciences.
Christian Williams, economics major.
Ronnie Bean, mathematics.
Kanisha Mothershed, Masters of Social Work.
Chevelle Jackson, Masters of Science in Accountancy.
Michelle Janae Buchanan Sloan, Masters of Social Work.
Brandon Carter, Civil Engineering.
Amina Bell, Masters of Social Work.
Tani Holiday, Communications and Public Relations.
Jordan Robertson, Liberty Studies.
Portia Hightower, Social Work with a minor in Child Development.
Taraja Golston, Criminal Justice major.
Erica Simpson, Communication Science and Disorders.
Queen Tanisha Crosby Little, Child Development Special Ed Services.
Oki Jr., Mass Communication.
Prishay Smith, Business, Accounting and Finance major.
Harold Williams, Journalism, Communication Studies.
Destiny Rogers, Kinesiology, Exercise Concentration.
Serena Nichols, Political Science and English.
Taylor Anderson, Kinesiology, Exercise Science.
Coleman Thomas, English.
Talolupe Adekanaluja, Social Work, Criminal Justice.
Alyssa Jackson, Psychology.
Sierra Rose Miller, Kinesiology, Exercise Science.
Lanisha Lachey Smart, Psychology.
Ashley Janae Ruth Crudison, Communication Studies and Public Relations.
Tatiana Smart, Social Work.
Brittany Nicole Fields, Communication Studies, Public Relations.
Miranda Williams, Psychology, would like to thank Russ' mom and dad.
Raquel Williams, Communication major.
Abby Ogunsuyi, Social Work.
Erin Danae Rain Faith Turner, Communications majors, Digital Media.
Janine Dinsmore, Child Development, ECDE, Dean's List.
Ebenez Shelton Johnson, Child Development.
Noelle Renee Jones, Social Work.
Bria Bryant, Political Science, minor in Sociology.
Bianca Monroe, Social Work.
Morgan Marshall, Communications, Interpersonal Communication.
Malik D'Angelo Hill, Economics.
Baby, just take them off. Just take them off.
Avery Baker, Economics.
Jason Hardaway, Criminal Justice major.
Xavier Boone, Communications.
Gathanga Durango, Econ major, minor in business.
Brandon Hayworth, Kinesiology, Concentration in Physical Education.
Demetrio Colon, Criminal Justice major.
Tiandre Cooksey, Kinesiology, Physical Education.
Bria Lene Jones, Exercise Science, Clinical Exercise.
Vanessa McMurray, Business Administration, Human Resources, Organizational Management.
Evangelic Nicolette Schumeyer, Criminal Justice.
Chantel Mahone, Communication Studies.
Juan Collins, Communication, Intercultural Communications.
Deidre Regina Holloway, Social Work.
Toshiba Francois Gross, Sociology major.
Aurelia Castle Miller, Social Work.
Marcus Green, Communication major.
Lynette Alice Williams, major in History, concentration in African Studies.
Jordan Sessions, Kinesiology, Exercise Science.
Sabrina Maddie Harrell, Ethnic Studies, Pan-African concentration. Like to thank family.
Deontay Daly, Career and Technical Studies major.
Ely Cottle, gerontology.
Shanice Daly, kinesiology, exercise science major.
Martine Wilson, women's studies, midwife.
Kendra Jackson, social work.
Ebony Johnson, ethnic studies, Pan-African studies.
Ashley Elizabeth Robertson, ethnic studies, sociology major.
Montrese Crockett, political science.
Diana Anderson, social work major.
Duana Farrell, child development.
Jarrell Gardner, criminal justice major.
Alexandria James, education.
Akil Terry, criminal justice major.
Deshaun Cornegay, economics.
Anthony Bouger, community engineering and cybersecurity major.
Dwayne Lamont Ewing Jr., aka Conscious, sociology and marketing minor.
Isaiah Marshall, communications with public relation major.
Ajani Rob, aka Ajani on the Trap, communications and public relations.
Larry Scape Jr., criminal justice major. Imaya Zakia Hawkins Balime, child development, industrialized concentration. Kai Hall Graham, film studies major. Thank you, Jesus.
All righty. Excitement is still in the air and we're not done yet. I would like to introduce Dr. Edward Ted Lasher, Interim Dean for the College of Social Science and Interdisciplinary Studies and supporter of the CWC to present the 2017-18 graduating class.
Good evening. After great music and moving speeches and expressions of joy that I could not even perform in my dreams, I'm acutely conscious that my short remarks are one of the last things that stands between you and celebrating all of you. So, without further ado, it gives me great pleasure and much pride as Dean of the college that incorporates the Cooper Woodson College to present to you the class of 2018.
All right, we are almost there. We're almost there. 1 second. Blake, play some music. Teacher's pet, let's roll. Alrighty, we're gonna keep this party going so that you can get outside and meet with your family and friends and take more photos. Everybody got to celebrate. As Dr. Masupio said, you were able to perform on stage as a group, as singles, and nothing broke but a shoe. That was a very good opportunity we had tonight. I need everybody to please be seated until the platform guests, faculty, staff, and the graduates exit. So we need to keep the aisle clear of people. No people in the aisle so that we can get this party started. All can meet your graduates outside of the union for photos, fellowship, and great moments. I need the graduates, only the graduates. When you leave here and you exit the auditorium, please go upstairs to the second floor to the Orchard Suites in order to receive your certificate. DVDs for the ceremony can be ordered after the celebration. Group photos and individual photos will be available to purchase in the lobby suite located to the left of the ballroom. Without further ado, we need music, and we are going to exit stage left or right. Please follow your ushers or the platform once we leave. The platform will leave first.
Come on, take a ride. There's a party over here that ain't no job. But just slide by, just always lie. Bit about the trouble than your 9 to 5. We'll just sail on. Come on, to do now, sail on. Do your thing. To the website. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Yeah, one more time now. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. I'm the captain of this vessel, yeah. We want to take you on a cruise. All around the land, music is a hand. We want to play it for you. You see, we like to be a groove of entertainment. Jam to the beat. Don't let nothing entertain you. We just want you to be nothing but pleasure, nothing but pleasure. Our music is very real, truly a treasure, a treasure, yeah. Come along, clap your hands, get on up and ride, y'all. Come on and ride on the funk, y'all. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage. Slide